What's up? It's Aviva Hale, you guys, and it's not the full band, man.
Perfect. Cool.
Keep that in there.
Hey, welcome to our podcast. It's not the full band, man. I am your interviewer, host, Nick Rodello, and we are here at the wonderful Calaveras Fine Fusion with our guest, Aviva Hale.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a lovely morning.
It is a lovely morning. We finally have, it's like 75 degrees outside finally.
It's insane, right? I have been waiting for this longer than, middle of May is too long.
I woke up this morning and I'm like, why am I sweating? It's so hot out.
I turned my AC on today.
The sun beams right through the window and just cooks me like a hot dog in a rotisserie oven.
Yes.
And yeah, but we're here. Summer gigs are upon us.
Yes.
So let's get started. You know, you are a Wisconsin, I'd say like seasoned musician. You've been...
At this point, I would say that. A lot of people would still say I'm pretty new to the scene. I've been doing it publicly for about 5 years now, but I feel like I've gained a lot of personal connections with a lot of the more seasoned, rooted musicians in the area who have really helped me climb the ladder faster than somebody who, is more to themselves out there trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we were just saying, like, because we had to do this take like 3 times to get this started, and I'm the nervous one, and you're just like calmly composing yourself and holding it together, just that natural flow of, yeah. But so you have been doing this for 5 years now. Yes. I had the pleasure of catching you jam out at Rocky and Tara's Nut House.
Yes.
A few years ago.
2024, I think the timestamp said.
I don't remember. I just, a couple of years ago, I was
couple shots ago.
Yeah. That's when we met, and we got the pleasure of jamming together.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, you have a couple projects you're doing right now.
I do. Yes. So I started with Hale Hall, which is my most popular duo that I started back in 2021. And then as of this year, I started exploring some more solo music side of just performing, and not really my cup of tea, but I'll do it. I love being on stage with somebody, which is where the birth of Moonshine Hill came this year, which is more of the bluesy side of a duo. A lot of fun. I get to do that with my partner, Vince. Chilling off camera.
Looking sexy and fine.
Tie-dye man.
Yeah, that's cool. It's good to have a couple irons in the fire with music, I feel like. Because you can book more often.
Yes.
Even repeat at the same venues with different projects.
Yes, and I've always said, like, one of my favorite things about creating new projects is that when you see, like, your favorite musician collaborate with, like, say you see a featured track, like it'll say like Teddy Swims featuring, blank, you get excited, right?
Yeah.
So like when I get the opportunity to play on stage with like Jimmy Anderson, people are like, that's really cool. And I get really excited to start these new projects and like give people something new, something fresh, because that's what we do is like we take each other and create new things in the music industry. And it's just so cool to see what originality comes out of each project. You could have a duo 10 times, create 10 different duos, and none of them will sound the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, you bring someone in, you work to their attributes, to their highlights. You want to highlight their attributes.
Exactly,
And each artist is going to have different, strengths and weaknesses. So you end up, like, I feel like as a musician, you just kind of work with them, and you create a unique thing, a different combination.
It's a blessing to and like we said, we met at an open jam. Open jams have been like some of the most like crucial events to me meeting some of the most talented people. Because you can see them online, you can go to their shows, but when you get to be like in the deep rooted, like you're jumping on stage with these people, you don't know them, you just met them, maybe you shared a drink at the bar, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, let's play this song. And it opens that chemistry, that door that you didn't know was there. And it's the coolest experience ever. And that's actually how I started Hale Hall, was meeting Ron out at an open jam, actually Fatheads, which is no longer in Green Bay.
Was that Mason Street in Green Bay?
Yeah.
That was such a huge venue. Fatheads.
Was.
Rest in peace, Fish.
I know, right? It's so many memories there. But it was the grounds of the creation, the birth of my first project. So shout out to Beth with Fatheads for giving us that comfortable place to grow.
Yeah. Are there any more venues that are equivalent to Fatheads in Green Bay right now?
Oh my gosh, I wish.
That's what I like, and I didn't want to seem like I'm being negative here, but Fatheads went down. The Hideout off of Velp used to be.
The Lyric Room went down. But I did hear that Revelry is a up-and-coming place in Green Bay that is, I'm pretty sure, one of the heads behind it, Tom Johnson, he's responsible for like the Green Bay Distillery, runs a lot of like the cool big projects at the Raz, like a lot of the punk shows, and it's really cool to see that they're opening up a new venue that's going to kind of take place of that.
And At the Tracks, that was what there's At the Tracks is a good venue, and I'm not trying to take away from the venues out there doing hard work, but
well, the difference between like a dive bar and an actual music venue, that's what we're looking at, like the difference between
I love dive
both.
bars, but
oh my gosh, some of my favorite memories of shows are at dive bars. But yeah, there's a very big difference of like, going to a show, paying that cover charge, supporting a small band, whereas like, you can go into a dive bar and happen upon music any day of the week in Wisconsin, which is great.
And I'm thinking, and there's the Tarleton Theater, but like, I'm like me just being an old metalhead. I'm thinking about like Fatheads was like a place where a lot of original bands that didn't fit the idea of, no disrespect to Frets and Friends, but they're not going to have like bands like Profane or Macabre come play on their stage.
Yes, and that's what I'm excited that Pet Skull out in Manitowoc is
Pet Skull Brewing
great
Company.
Place for metal. I may not look like the type, but I love metal and punk music. It's what I kind of like. That was like my brooding ground of music when I was younger.
They're diversifying their portfolio out there.
Yes.
They just had Illuminati out at Pet Skull Brewing Company.
That same weekend, Hale Hall played.
Oh, yeah.
So it was really cool to see that they were doing that. But I'm really excited to see what Revelry happens about, like what happens with that. And then, like I mentioned, the Raz, they reopened, and John has been taking really good care of that place and has put on some really cool punk shows. Like one of my favorite, like a Lead Belly kind of musician, Scott H. Byram, one-man band. It was really cool to see that there's a home for those kind of musicians again.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Crunchy Frog's no longer.
Crunchy Frog, I forgot, that was De Pere, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I believe so, yes.
By the De Pere College. And, I feel like I've seen a lot of venues come and go, and you see a lot of ambitious people try to get something going, but it's hard to get. I feel like it's a hard market to stay successful in.
It is.
You see a lot of venues just pop up, and
thankfully, Wisconsin, if you didn't know, I'm sure you do, but Wisconsin is actually one of the homes of punk rock music. Like when you look into the history of like punk rock in America, you've got like Orange County, California, they took care of a lot of but Wisconsin is actually known as one of like the first homes to like really like big growing punk bands, like garage punk, like crust punk, all that stuff. Like one of my favorite bands, Bad Religion.
That's well,
and
Green Day, which what's punk, what's pop punk, blah blah blah. Green Day played out at Nina in the like mid '90s at this place. It was called Revolutions at one point. They literally played at this big bar out in Nina before, like, right when they dropped Dookie, the album.
Yeah.
So, like, there was a lot of talk. There's this band, Green Jelly.
Green Jelly.
They had to change their name because Jello said, you got to change it. But there were barn shows in Kaukauna and, like, big bands just in the 90s. I've heard stories about this.
Oh, and another thing that Wisconsin's doing, Pharmapalooza. That's kind of bringing that same vibe back, getting the or Metal in the Meadow. That's another really cool thing that goes on where it like brings back that that vibe of like being in a barn, like we're in the middle of nowhere drinking vodka out of water bottles, and there's a punk band playing that no one's heard of. I know.
Yeah, that's great. So how's your schedule looking this summer? You keeping yourself busy?
So as busy as I can be. So I know we mentioned it a little bit. With being pregnant this year, it's a little bit different. Thank you. It's a little bit different. There's going to be a couple of changes that we have to make just naturally to make sure that I'm, staying on top of my health as well as
100%. That's the most important thing.
Keeping business forward as much as possible. So there have been a couple of scheduling changes, but for the most part, I mean, we're still jam-packed. I mean, we have what I call, there's usually 2 or 3 of them we call Hell Week, which is 5 to 6 shows in a week. Like, it's just back to back to back to back, 4-hour shows each night, and it usually happens once in July, once in August.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
So
you wake up every morning sounding like, well, maybe you sound more like Elmo. I'll sound like Oscar the Grouch when I wake up after these gigs.
Sometimes I sound like Batman. You'd be surprised. I've got a low voice, but like it's rough sometimes.
I practice all my bass songs in the morning, like bah.
Yeah. Oh, my voice is always like, this is my nice low voice.
Your low voice.
My low voice. But so the schedule is staying pretty consistent. People, a lot of the venues and venue owners are like super accommodating, and that's one thing I love about the scene is just how accommodating people are to the pregnancy in general. It's really nice to see how the community and venue owners have just.
Everybody's pretty understanding here. I feel like Wisconsin is, I mean, in my humble opinion, it's a beautiful state to like make a career in music.
I've honestly said so. I tried doing the Nashville thing.
I have a couple friends in Nashville, and it's a lot of work down there.
It is. I mean, you're sitting and grinding 12 plus hours a day.
You want to, like, if you're in Nashville and you want to make money in music, from what I understand, you go downtown, is it University Ave, whatever, and
Broadway,
yeah, and you got to play a gig every day, an hour, and then you might go up the road and play another gig. Yep. They throw you $50, $100, but you're doing 2 gigs a day, 5 days a week.
So it's really hard to find venues that are actually paying down in Nashville now because it is so saturated.
It's so oversaturated.
It is, and I did the Nashville thing. I found a couple of venues on Broadway that were willing to take us. It's really hard to really step in the door because they want recurring musicians. They want to, then there's the circuits. You're only like musicians are only performing at certain bars because they're all connected somehow.
Yep, like conflict of interest, and
so
you got to know someone to get in, I'm sure.
Exactly. I spent an entire week down there just on vacation one time, walking the streets, 95 degrees with a backpack guitar, and I'm just walking in with business cards trying to think of, like, I'm going to go into every single bar on Broadway. I got maybe 1 call back.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care, but once they hear you, and
once they hear you, you just got to get that opportunity to show them. This is a good story because I think I see a lot of people on my Facebook that are let down by the harsh reality of sales. Like, you're going to call a dozen places and one might call you back, and then that one that calls you back might say, hey, you're not our type, you're not our fit.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I can say is don't gauge your worth based on yeses and nos in the industry, because for every 100 no's, that one yes is going to make or break it. You just gotta want it. You just gotta want it. You gotta go find it.
It's a constant grind. You gotta want it, and that's just the nature of it. And if you can't get past being told no, I mean, that's just a personal problem at that point.
It takes a lot of growth. Like, it really does, because like when I first started in the industry, like I felt like just the little minnow, right? You don't know anybody. You're coming in bold. You're coming in strong. Like you're ready to just tackle it, and then you realize people don't know you. They're not really going to give you the time of day. You have to work for it. You have to play those free shows. Like, did you, like, when you first started doing live performances, like, were you playing for free? Like,
oh my God. Well, so
you're like, I'll play for tips.
When I started, I mean, this is like 20 years ago. I played in an original heavy band, and we weren't doing it for money. We were just playing shows and throwing shows with other bands and like collaborating. It was like 15 years ago, I felt like Appleton had a metal scene where you go like, oh, I'm gonna go check out 3 bands at the Cold Shot or Maritime, and it was kind of like we were just talking about, like an actual show. You show up, and maybe not always a cover charge because they were hole-in-the-wall bars, but that's how I got started, though.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I kind of had already established myself in the scene through that, and I was able to take some of those venues and say, hey, can I do this other project there?
Right.
And then from there, it's just a snowball effect. You just got to get in. One person has to see you and get you into another place, and that's
all it takes.
It's just a domino effect. And if you don't keep pushing those dominoes over, they're not going to topple.
Right. And you made a really good point in saying that, like, when you started, the money wasn't the thing. And
I do this for the money.
Yeah, we all do it for the money, right? There's so much money in music.
I do it for the freedom.
There can be. Don't let that discourage you. If you're listening and you're like, I want to be a musician, this is so awesome, and then we're like, there is no money in it. That's a lie.
There's a little money.
There is, if you know, you have to have a good business mindset as well. And you have to understand your worth as you go along. I mean, there's inflation.
And that doesn't take away from the passion of the art.
No.
It's okay to regulate your passion.
Right. And that's what I struggled with a lot. But one thing that I've always held close and true to me is that, like, it's important to know your worth as far as, like, you know, if you are good at something, you should never do it for free. That's what they say.
Yeah. Also, like, and I'm cut you off. I'm just like, okay. I need to interject. This is so fun. Friends will support you. And, like, you know, if you have a friend that's an electrician, are you going to ask your friend to show up and work for free? Like, you want to give them money. And so when you're, I know. Friends, there's this weird gray area. But what I'm saying is that, like, people who support you are going to support you. They're not going to ask you for discounts, for handouts.
Yes, I'm a huge advocate of that. Like, a huge advocate.
Not that there's anything wrong with helping pull other people up, but I'm just saying that.
There's a lot of instances where, like, I will see people, like, posting online about, like, you know, my business is struggling, what can I do? Hey, we're gonna try and put on this benefit. And, like, I always find that when I see fit, I will voluntarily offer my music up for free.
Yeah.
You know, I will come out and play that 2 to 3 hour show for a benefit when I feel that it's, you know, just in my heart. But when people come and ask, like, hey, Aviva, I know you, like, we kind of have this connection. Do you think that you could come play my bar for free? What's the cause? What are we doing here? Are you just using somebody for, like,
entertainment purposes?
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, it's not about the money. I want to bring it back to that. Like, you know, of course, like, you have to. There's like that fine line that you have to walk between knowing your worth and staying humble.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you can't keep playing for free, or eventually you're just not going to be able to afford to play.
You're going to wear yourself down completely.
So it's nice to be compensated a little bit, but...
Right. But it's a passion at its core. Music, performing, it's a passion. That's why we go out to open jams.
Yeah.
You know,
I go out, play for free. I like to see my friends, and it's because it, like, reignites that passion inside.
It does, the fun.
And I think the best thing about open mics is the little Easter eggs you get, like meeting someone like you, and, like, we're gonna jam a song together.
Right.
And I've said this before. It's like music is a language with no words, and we can have a full-blown conversation without saying one word.
Right.
And you could do that with any musician you meet up with.
It's crazy. You never know who you stumble upon. And that's, like, a huge, like, push that if you've never gone to an open jam, do it. Because you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know what could flourish from it.
Yeah, and it's because we're not doing this for money, but, like, I could keep rambling on. You know what? We'll have to ramble on another time. I think we should listen to you play some music.
I could definitely play a song.
Awesome.
I got an original lined up for you guys.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Aviva Hale. Go out, check the bands out.
Hale Hall and Moonshine Hill.
Yeah, you want to plug in any shows coming up?
I mean, my summer is jam-packed, so the best thing that I can tell you to do is to follow Hale Hall and follow Moonshine Hill, because there's so many great shows coming up that you're just going to have to go find them yourself.
We'll get some links in the comments.
Get some links going for you guys.
Awesome. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you again.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
That was fun.